The moment I saw them through the cafe window, my world cracked like glass under a hammer. My wife, Elise, leaned across the small, weathered table, her fingers brushing against my best friend Daniel's hand, her laughter bright and unguarded in a way I hadn't heard in months. I stood frozen on the sidewalk, the autumn chill seeping through my jacket, my breath catching as I watched the life I thought I knew unravel in a single, devastating glance. For 12 years, Elise and I had built a life together. Imperfect, but ours. We met in college, two dreamers with mismatched ambitions who somehow fit. She was a painter, her canvases bursting with colors I could never fully understand but loved because they were hers. I was the practical one, a financial analyst who found comfort in numbers and predictability. We balanced each other, or so I thought. Daniel had been part of that life from the start. My roommate turned best friend, the one who stood beside me at our wedding, grinning as he toasted to our forever. He was family, the kind you choose. That morning, I hadn't planned to be anywhere near the cafe. I'd left work early, a rare impulse to surprise Elise with her favorite almond croissants from the bakery across town. Our marriage had been strained lately. Nothing dramatic, just the slow erosion of long hours, unspoken frustrations, and the weight of routine. I thought a small gesture might remind her of the early days, when we'd stay up all night talking about everything and nothing. But as I approached the cafe, a shortcut to her art studio, I saw them. Elise's auburn hair caught the sunlight, and Daniel's familiar slouch was unmistakable. They weren't just sharing coffee, they were sharing something I wasn't part of. I stepped closer, my heart thudding, the paper bag of croissants crumpling in my grip. The cafe was cozy, its windows fogged at the edges from the warmth inside. Elise's eyes sparkled as she spoke, her hands animated, the way they used to move when she told me about a new painting. Daniel leaned in, his smile too intimate, his hand lingering too long when he passed her a napkin. My stomach twisted. Was I misreading this? I wanted to believe I was. But then she reached out again, her fingers grazing his wrist, and he didn't pull away. The air felt too thin, my chest tight with a betrayal I couldn't yet name. I didn't go inside. I couldn't. Instead, I turned and walked home, the croissants abandoned on a park bench. My mind churned, replaying every moment of the last few months. The late nights Elise spent at her studio, claiming deadlines. The way Daniel had been around more often, offering to help with her gallery show. The quiet dinners where Elise seemed distracted, her phone buzzing with messages she'd dismiss as work. I'd trusted her. I'd trusted him. How had I missed this? At home, our apartment felt like a stranger's. The couch where we'd binged shows together, the kitchen table where we'd argued and made up, the bed where I'd held her just last night. It all felt tainted. I sat on the edge of the mattress, staring at her pillow, wondering how many lies it had cradled. When Elise came home an hour later, her cheeks flushed from the cold, she smiled at me like nothing was wrong. "Hey, you're home early," she said, kicking off her boots. "Everything okay?" I wanted to scream, to demand answers, but my throat felt sealed shut. "Yeah." I managed, my voice hollow. Just felt like cutting out. She didn't notice the strain in my tone. She kissed my cheek, her lips soft and familiar, and went to make tea. I watched her move, graceful and unaware, and the ache in my chest grew sharper. Was this how betrayal worked? Did it hide in plain sight, cloaked in routine? Over the next week, I became a detective in my own life. I checked her phone when she showered, hating myself for it. There were messages from Daniel. Nothing blatant, but too many, too casual, too late at night. "Loved our chat today," one read. "You always know how to make me laugh," said another. I scrolled until my hands shook, each word a splinter under my skin. I started noticing things I'd ignored. The way she'd angle her phone away from me, the extra care she took with her appearance before studio time. I didn't confront her. I wasn't ready. I needed proof, something undeniable, to shatter the hope that I was wrong. The opportunity came when Elise mentioned a weekend art retreat. "It's just a small group," she said, packing her sketchbooks. "I'll be back Sunday night." She didn't mention Daniel, but I knew. I called his office, pretending to be a client. His assistant said he was out of town for the weekend. My heart sank, but I wasn't surprised. I followed her. It felt like a betrayal of my own values. tailing my wife like some paranoid stranger, but I had to know. The retreat was at a cabin an hour outside the city. I drove up late Saturday, my hands gripping the wheel, my mind a storm of dread and denial. When I arrived, the cabin was lit warmly against the dark woods, laughter spilling out. I parked a distance away and crept closer, hiding in the shadows like a ghost of my own life. Through the window, I saw them. Elise and Daniel, sitting on a couch, their knees touching. She was laughing again, that same unguarded laugh from the cafe. He tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, and she didn't flinch. My breath caught, sharp and painful. I wanted to burst in, to scream, to break something, but I stayed rooted, watching my world collapse. When I got home, I didn't sleep. I sat in the dark, replaying every moment of our marriage, searching for the moment it went wrong. Had I been too distant? Too predictable? Had I failed her in ways I couldn't see? The questions gnawed at me, but they didn't dull the anger, the heartbreak, the sickening sense of being a fool. Sunday night, Elise came home, her eyes bright with the glow of the retreat. It was amazing, she said, dropping her bag. So inspiring. I couldn't look at her. The words I'd rehearsed stuck in my throat. Elise, I said finally, my voice low. Were you with Daniel? Her face froze, just for a second, but it was enough. What? She said, laughing nervously. Daniel? No, it was just the art group. Don't lie to me. My voice cracked, betraying the calm I'd tried to hold. I saw you. At the cafe. At the cabin. I saw you. Her eyes widened, then softened with something like guilt. Mark, it's not what you think. Then what is it? I shouted, the dam breaking. Tell me what I'm supposed to think when my wife and my best friend are touching, laughing, sneaking around behind my back. She flinched, tears welling. It's not an affair, she said, her voice shaking. It's complicated. Daniel's been helping me through some things. I didn't know how to tell you. Helping you. I laughed bitterly. Is that what you call it? I was unhappy, Mark, she cried. You're always working, always so distant. Daniel listened. He understood my art, my dreams. It wasn't physical. It was emotional. Her words hit like a punch. Emotional. Somehow, that felt worse, like she'd given him a part of her I couldn't reach. And you couldn't talk to me? I asked, my voice breaking. I'm your husband. I tried, she whispered. You didn't hear me. The room fell silent, the weight of her words settling between us. I wanted to hate her, to hate Daniel, but all I felt was loss. 12 years gone. Trust shattered. I walked out, needing air, needing space, needing anything but her tear-streaked face. Outside, the city buzzed, indifferent to my unraveling. I didn't know if we could rebuild, if I could ever look at her without seeing Daniel's hand on hers. But as I stood there, the cold biting my skin, I realized the hardest truth. Love doesn't die in a single moment, even when it's broken. It lingers, painful and stubborn, demanding to be felt.